Rowdy Girl Sanctuary is our contribution to society. When we pass on, we are leaving Rowdy Girl as a legacy, this whole organization and all of the work. And so we are doing everything we can while we are alive and thriving to make sure that Rowdy Girl thrives. So members mean everything to us.
Continue watching to find out more.
Welcome to today's show entitled Renee King-Sonnen, Vegan, Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, and A Heart Compassion, Part 2 of 2. In Part 1, we learned how Rowdy Girl Sanctuary was born from a remarkable transformation. A former Texas cattle ranch turned into a safe haven for rescued animal people. The sanctuary is named after a young calf who sparked Renee King-Sonnen's vegan awakening. Her husband, Tommy Sonnen, vegan, was a multi-generational cattle rancher who also embraced veganism, and together they created this safe oasis for animal people. Renee King-Sonnen is also the founder of the Rancher Advocacy Program, through which she helps ranchers who struggle with the moral conflict of sending animal people to slaughter. What she has discovered is that many ranchers and their families carry deep emotional burdens, and she meets them with compassion, not judgment.
So if you are a cattle rancher that struggles, I would like to tell you that there is a different reality beyond your current belief system. Belief systems change all the time. People's belief systems don't always stay the same. And, I know that it took a lot of courage. I know that now, for me to step out of that belief system and start questioning what was happening to these cows when they went to the sale barn, what was happening to the families of the cows left behind. I would encourage you to get beyond the way you currently think and put yourself in the position of one of the animals that you're sending to the sale barn and look around them and see if they have a mother. See if they have friends, and ask yourself, would you want to be put in a trailer, leaving behind your mother when you were just a baby and your friends? Would you want to be sold? Would you want to be thrown into an auction and sold to the highest bidder, fattened up and slaughtered and killed for food? Would you want that? If you put yourself in the place of the animal, you can't do it anymore.
When asked how she approaches tough conversations with traditional macho ranchers, Renee offered some thoughtful advice rooted in empathy, not confrontation.
I think the best approach to a macho cattle rancher is just to walk your walk, and talk your own talk without pointing any fingers at them. There's no way that if I had a cattle rancher come here that we buy hay from, for instance, if somebody was delivering hay, I'm not going to go over there and preach veganism to them. That's not going to change them. It's going to turn them away. But I will go over to them and talk to them about, how much I love the cows, how great I feel, eating a plant-based diet. I'll talk to them about their health. And I'll ask them if they're taking any medications, and I'll say, gosh, I'm 67 and I don't take any medication. Food is my medicine. And so the best way I have found to talk to macho type cattle ranchers is to live it, to walk it. I'm not afraid to talk about it with them. I just don't intimidate them with what they should be doing.
Renee is also an outspoken advocate for agricultural policy reform. She believes plant farmers should receive the same support as people engaged in animal people raising, especially those transitioning towards sustainable crops.
We are in a world that does not support farmers to transition. And it would be great if young vegans would start, applying for jobs in our government to become a staffer on the inside, become a lobbyist so you can be on the inside making the changes, because the ones that are on the inside are generations deep. If we were going to make a law, create a law, I would say that, let's create a law where farmers, that raise animals can have equal benefits as farmers that want to, do something to raise animals. Farmers that want to transition to mushrooms or, growing flowers or, seeds or trees or whatever to help the world. They should be given the same benefits, and they're not.
Vegan leader, true hero.
Welcome back to our show. Renee King-Sonnen, Vegan, Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, and A Heart of Compassion, Part 2 of 2. Renee has created a powerful legacy for Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, and now she describes ways the public can get involved in supporting the sanctuary's mission.
The community can get involved in a couple of different ways. You can join the Rowdy Club. The Rowdy Club is a sustaining membership, and Tommy and I, this is our child. Rowdy Girl Sanctuary is our contribution to society. When we pass on, we are leaving Rowdy Girl as a legacy, this whole organization and all of the work. And so we are doing everything we can while we are alive and thriving to make sure that Rowdy Girl thrives. So members mean everything to us. We have right now 725 members, and we're wanting to get to 800 so bad just to get to that next mile marker. But we need to keep growing. We got a medical treatment facility we're building so that we can take care of all the aging bovine.
Most veterinarians aren't trained to care for elderly cows because in traditional systems, cows rarely live out their natural lifespans.
We have about 70 cows out there. And, when you take care of them to the day they naturally die, they go blind, they get arthritis, they get cancer, they get all kinds of other illnesses and diseases that you have to take care of them. And so we have to have a medical treatment facility on site so that we're not having to load them up and haul them to veterinary clinics, an hour away. And also the veterinary clinics, they have food animal departments. They don't know anything about taking care of aging bovine because they don't typically have a reason to take care of aging bovine. They kill them long before that. So you can help out by learning more about our medical treatment facility, our Time to Thrive program to build that facility. We're in our third phase right now.
Just as Renee offers healing to the animal residents she rescues, she has also experienced deep healing on many levels through her own vegan journey.
I've tried to start getting sober about 33 years ago. And to date, I'm over 12 years sober. And I can tell you that going vegan was like recovery from eating animals. When I got sober January the 8th of 2013, this time, what finally did it for me was I had tried so hard to do it on my own. I had tried so hard, and I had so much trauma. I had so many things that happened, sexual abuse, and all of that led to me being unable to stay stopped. I could stop for a long time. I could have multiple years sober, and I would drink again because I struggled doing the hard work that it took for me to see who I really am, that I'm not what happened to me. I am a child of God. And all that stuff that happened to me, all that horrible stuff that happened to me, is nothing compared to what happens to the animals. And so when I went vegan in October 31st of 2014, I took all of my pain and I was able to work the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous in such a way where I was able to let it all go for the animals. I let it all go and I became willing to tell my story, to tell theirs. My story of awakening, my story of rebirth, my story of transformation, my story of healing all that sexual abuse. is how I've been able to tell the story that will become the book, Rowdy Girl. All those stories are in there.
Renee took a moment to express her appreciation to Supreme Master Television.
The only thing I would like to add is how much gratitude I have for Supreme Master TV, and, so much gratitude for the work that y'all do. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for, continuing to want to tell our story on your platform. That means so much to us and to all the animals here. So from my heart and Rowdy Girl's heart and all the animals at Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, I just want to say thank you. And just make sure that the ones that need to know how eternally grateful that we are.
In May 2018, our beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, graciously provided a humble token contribution of $10,000 to the Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, is deeply grateful as a humble vessel to the beloved Almighty God for any help bestowed upon His precious children. We're also grateful for the loving work being done at Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. Thank you, Renee King-Sonnen and Tommy-Sonnen, and all those who support the sanctuary for helping to create a more peaceful, compassionate world for both human and animal beings. To learn more about Renee King-Sonnen, vegan, please visit rowdygirlsanctuary.org and rancheradvocacy.org.